Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Jose. I'm going to be your host today. Today, I have with me my beautiful co-worker. Her name is Danny. She's going to be my panelist today. Danny, are you there?
Yes, good evening, guys. It's a pleasure to have you watching us, and please let us know if you have any questions or doubts. I'll be here on the other side, attending you guys in case you have any questions. And um, let's go on with this, Jose.
Thank you very much. So let's start with this. Welcome, Chicago. Today, we're going to be talking about how to create passive income with Airbnb if I do not own a property. Okay, so that would be the main question today. So let's focus on this. Right now, in order to talk a little bit about how to create the passive income, I want to use the Bnbvestor tool. Okay, this is a great tool that is going to help us make a strong analysis, a property analysis, and finally decide if the investment that we can make is going to be a good one, or is actually we prefer not to do it. Now we have several numbers. Of course, right now we have the information for the whole United States, but later on we want to focus specifically in the country that the city that we're looking at, which is Chicago. First, and before going into there, I want to talk about a few concepts that are going to be very important throughout the webinar. The first one is that we're going to be talking about rentals, of course, but there are two kinds of rentals that we're going to be talking about. The first one is regular rentals. Whenever I say something about regular rentals, what it is. Well, the regular rentals are those rentals that people, put with a realtor in the market and say, you know what, I want to rent the property for the whole month. Okay, that's like the usual rental that we have learned before. Okay, the other one is going to be the Bnb rental, and specifically, then we're going to be talking about properties that are currently listed in Airbnb, and that is actually the ones that we want to put right now in the market so we can make money with it. The second concept is the ADR. The ADR is basically the average daily rate. It's the average rate of accommodation per occupied room. Okay, let's put it this way. If and we're talking about, well, of course, the average sale price per listing. Okay, so it would be, for example, if let me explain first how to calculate the average daily rate for a regular rental. So let's say that a property is listed in $3,000. Okay, I'm going to divide that for 30 days, which is the amount of days that a month has, and then I'm going to be saying that daily the cost of the rent is going to be $100. That's going to be basically the average. And when we're talking about the average daily rate for a V&B rental, it's whatever the people is asking for daily to occupy the listing. Okay, of course that could be changing every day, and that's why we are going to be talking about an average daily rate. Occupancy, of course, is the amount of days that the property is occupied throughout the month. And then we have another concept, which is revenue. It's basically the result of the amount of the average daily rate per occupancy. Okay, and we have that as a result. Then there is a very important concept that I want to tell you about. I want to talk a little bit about it, which is the average daily rate. That concept is going to let us know a little bit more how much money we're going to be making if we put the property in Airbnb instead of having it in the regular rentals. Okay, in this case, let's put it this way. What we can see here is that in the United States, we have regular rentals. There right now there are 534,000 properties listed as regular rentals. And basically, in average, what they are asking for monthly in a property is around the 1600. Okay, but right now there are almost 1 million properties listed through Airbnb, and due to the occupancy that the percentage of occupancy that the property could have and the average daily rate, then I can see that the revenue that the property could have is a lot higher, almost $3,000 a month. So when I compare these numbers, I'm going to say that there is an additional potential revenue of 83% if I go for the VNB rental instead of the regular rentals. Okay. Now, let's focus on Chicago. Let's go. Here you have several listings. I can go through the map, okay? Or actually, I can just use the search option here. And I want to say, you know what? Let's go directly to the city that I want to focus on. Okay, here we have it. So now I can see that usually what we can see throughout the country is that there are a lot more VNB rentals right now than regular rentals. In Chicago, this number is actually the other way around. Okay, let's remember that recently we have, well, a couple of years ago, Chicago actually started enforcing home sharing ordinance. So people, in order to put properties in Airbnb, it's going to be a little bit more demanding. Okay, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, even though you can make the business there. And that's what we want to check right now. If you can see, well, actually, there are 5,727 properties listed in Airbnb right now. Now, let's focus where are going to be the best places for me to do it. Remember, what I want to do is what the analysis that we're going to be making tonight is actually how to make money when the property is not mine. So the best way to do it would be actually looking into properties that are active, that are currently for rent. Okay, rent the property and then list that property through Airbnb. Okay, that's the way that we want to check it right now. And the best way, the good thing about this is that once I pay for the regular rental, whatever whatever else the property makes is going to be my profit. So let's check this. What I want to do right now is I want to go for places. Even though I have a lot of different options here, I want to check places and I want to say, hey, you know what? I want to see all those zip codes that they can give me great additional revenue. Okay. Let's check this one, for example. I have the zip code 6611. I can see that there are a fair amount of listings in that zip code, and I can see that the occupation is 68% of all of those properties. I mean, through the month, and I have 68% as an additional revenue, meaning that I can make 68% more with the Airbnb than I would be making through the regular rentals. Okay, let's click here. Let's go directly to the zip code and let's take a closer look to it. At the same time, well, I can say, well, take a look into this. Here I have all of the information that I would like to check. Okay, first, I can see the number of BNB listings that I have in the zip code. Also, I can see the number of regular rentals that I have there, and I have all of the numbers. Right here, I can say that there is a 67% additional revenue for this specific zip code. In the overview, I'm going to be able to see how many properties there are right now, what are the types of rentals that there are more popular there. So I can see the properties with 2 rooms are the most demanding, and I can see the number of hosts. Okay, the percentage, how many hosts there are 67 single listing hosts. There are some super hosts, and some of them are multi-listing hosts. Okay. But now I want to check something else. I want to take the option. If you click here, I have the deal finder. What is the deal finder? Well, actually, you know what? I want to make business with this. So I'm going to use the deal finder to help me look for properties that are currently for rent and that I can use in my business later on. So right now I already have it here for Chicago. And well, I want to take a closer look to the zip code that I was telling you about. It was 66, no, excuse me, 654, if I'm not mistaken, right? When I click on apply, okay, I have the numbers right here. So first, this one is the active rentals. I have here 353 properties. Let me go back to Bnbvestor. Okay. Okay, my bad. I was looking into a different zip code. Okay, that's what I. Okay, let's go. Let's go for the right one. I'm sorry about this, guys. 611. This is the right one. Okay, there are almost 700 listed properties. Okay, properties are currently active for rent, and here have the same number. Okay, it is going to be exactly the same average daily rate, exactly the same occupancy, and of course the revenue that I'm going to be able to get. What I want to do right now through the deal finder is that I would like to check if there are good properties here that I can use for my business. Okay, so as I scroll down a little bit, let's check this one, for example. I can see that the property is listed for 6,500. Okay, and it looks like, well, it's close to the shore. It's looks pretty nice. Okay, what I have here is that I have some comparables because I want to make a strong analysis. So therefore, I need to check the property with the comparables. Here I have regular comparables, regular rentals comparables, and I want to make sure that I have properties that are basically in the same area. I have this property is a 4-3. Almost all of my comparables are in the same league. Okay, so even if I want to uncheck some of them, I select them all. Then, for example, filter this one, which is a 4-4, and then I want to click here on calculate. To see if by any chance how much the regular value would be from the listing price, right? So it's very similar. Okay, properties in the area are basically, this is telling you that the listing price, whatever this guy Theodore is asking for the property, is in the market. Now let's go to the comparables in DMV, and I can see that in this case there are a lot of them. Okay, when you're working with this, you need to make sure about something. When the property actually has 4 bedrooms or more, okay, they are all in the same category. So even though I'm going to check all of the properties, I need to make sure that in this case, the comparables that I'm going to be using for my VMB, okay, are going to be exactly in the same, from the same size, okay? So now I check that I'm comparing with properties that has 4 properties, excuse me, 4 bedrooms, and I click on calculate again. Now, as you can see, what the value for the property, it's a lot higher. This is giving me an additional revenue of 101%. Okay, so these are the numbers that I could be making if I rent the property. Okay, to Theodore, I rent it, and I'm gonna be paying him $6,500 a month, but I could be invoicing basically is $13,000 a month. Okay, so this is what we want to tell you about. Okay, we can check in another proper. Well, before going on any further, let me see if there's any question here. Danny, is there any doubt?
Jose, up to for now, we don't have any questions or doubts.
Okay, well, thank you.
Uh, I'll interrupt you in case of anything, okay?
Thank you very much, Danny.
No
Okay,
problem.
so let's go back and let's go back first to the Bnbvestor system. Okay, let's try to check for and let's try to make an analysis in another zip code. So let's go into places. Well, right now in this one, actually, let's give me just a second. Let's click on search. Let's do this a little bit quicker again. Now, let me explain a little bit more about the other things that you can check within the system. Learn about seasonality. For example, when is the VNB market packed in the city? So what you can see here is basically that in August, there's a pick of occupancy. Basically every day, it's good. When the color green is darker, it means that there is more than 75% occupancy in the through the month, okay, an average. And every time that the color goes lighter, it means that of course the occupation is going to be less. Here we have the occupation curve, and here you can see that this is telling us that the month that has the lowest occupancy for Chicago is January. So when you look at this graphic, okay, what you can think is that if you want to start a business and you want to have a quick return of investment, the best moment to do it would be actually to start in January, because after that, everything is going to be uphill. Okay. The occupations are going to be even better and all of that. Remember, the occupation is not zero. Okay. Here we have 30%. Okay. It's going to be the lowest. That's what we wanted to explain here. And of course, if we compare this with the revenue, you're going to see that it is pretty similar. Okay, as we were saying, January is going to be the lowest one, and after that, you can see how this going is a peak for, well, basically June, July, August, which is of course summertime. Now let me.
Jose, I
Mhm.
apologize for interrupting. I have Peter over here asking when you register a property with Chicago, they ask if it's your primary residence. How do we do if it's a multiple, if you have multiple listings?
Well, actually, in that case, give me just a second, Danny.
Sure. Peter, and correct me if I'm wrong, if any of our other viewers do know, or you, Jose. Um,
Mhm.
I do understand that you are able to have multiple listings, okay? You have your primary residence, like you said, and then you can as well use it in it, and it all depends of the zoning, okay? Remember that, like you said, there are regulations within um, Illinois, but you would have to check the zoning in order to see if you can start your Airbnb business there. Remember that there are softwares that help you with the zoning, and also um, having multiple listings. And remember, the passive income without owning a property is the new economy, okay? So a lot of people that have Airbnb and that have multi listings, they don't even own a property. They're renting to other people and putting that property directly into their Airbnb as a host. I hope I have answered your question. Either way, if I have anything else to add, Peter, I will let you know. Okay.
Thank you, Danny. Actually, that's exactly the answer that it's appropriate in this time.
Mm, Therese, no. We do give you the whole, actually, wherever Airbnb is, we give you the data. Okay. Right now, we're going, or we are worldwide. We're focusing our search right now in Illinois, Chicago specifically, but we do not exclude towns or cities or countries, or sorry, yeah, countries that do not allow Airbnb. That would be a homework up to you to check other softwares or other websites that tell you the zoning. Zoning is the different uh, rules and regulations of where you can do that business. Remember that Airbnb really is something that just like having a store, because you're offering the service and you're getting money from that. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Danny. And actually, I want to add something to the question that Peter asked, and it's about this. Okay, actually, Airbnb has a hotline for you to check with them some of these things. Okay, specifically, but in this case, I checked a little bit earlier. I was checking their website about zoning, about things like specifically for Chicago, and yes, even though that you need to, there are regulations and you need to, as you were saying, register yourself with them. Okay, they say, hey, you know what? Even if you have multi-listing, you're gonna be able to do it. There's no problem. Remember, you need to register. You're gonna need one register per address. Okay, but at the same time, if you want to check all of the things, all of the relations, and all of the papers that they ask for, okay, you need to go with them. Okay, that goes a little bit beyond us. Okay, um, so let's move on a little bit about what I was telling you here. When we go into the best rentals, you're going to be able to see exactly which are what is the type of rentals that can be working even better for Chicago. And here we have houses with 4 bedrooms or plus. Okay, they're going to be doing extremely well. Okay, but of course, if you see houses with 3 bedrooms or even houses studios, okay, this is great. Okay, private rooms can work as well, but here in share rooms, there are not, even though there are some other markets that could be doing great for this type of rentals. In this case, in Chicago, it doesn't work. Okay, let me tell you a little bit more about host. Okay, and so you can see how this work, and I hope that this answers a little bit about what Peter was asking for. As you can see here, we have a lot of hosts that are doing extremely well in Chicago, and here, excuse me, well, here we have the number of listings that they have. Okay, 33, 32, even more. Okay, of course, right now I have it or I have it sorted by number of listings. Of course, as I scroll down, the number is going to decrease. The first one has 97 listings. So this means that basically somehow these people could um, be able to manage all of them. Okay. Now let me go back into places. Let's check for another zip code. If you want me to check in a specific zip code, see how it's doing, just let me know. Danny is gonna tell me whatever you want us to check. Okay. Right now, let me see if what about any other zip code? Oh, this is the one that I was mistaken before. So let's take this one, okay? The 6654, okay? Remember, even though I can see it here, I can see that the rental type, I can see that studios, one room apartments or two rooms, okay, even houses, they're doing very good, okay. Now let's check if I go to the deal finder and I want to make sure that if to find regular rentals right now and make a strong analysis, okay. Let's go and let's see what we can find here. I'm sorry about the background noise. So here we have it. There are 353 active rentals. I can see that the revenue is actually around the 2300. Okay. Remember, these are all regular rentals. Let me go back. Let me put it this way. I want you to see that this is exactly the same thing. If this is the map as I view it, in the other way, here I have Bnb listings and regular rental listings. Okay, if I want to see the regular rentals exactly in the same way that I had it in the deal finder, this is going to look like this. Okay, when I add the VNB here, you can see where are the VNBs. Okay, and well, you can check out and say, hey, you know what? I would like to rent a property. Let's say, for example, maybe this one. Okay, and try to get it, or if somewhere around here. Okay, but let's try to do it. Okay, let's focus on the deal finder right now. Let's see what we can get right now. Okay, let's take this one as an example. The good thing is whenever you use the deal finder, you can actually click on the website. Automatically this is gonna open um, a new tab, and you can check all of the information. Here you can see that the property is actually for rent. It's actually pet friendly, so this is going to be great. The property is listed for $7,500 a month. Okay, and it's exactly the same thing that I could see here. Okay, this is the listing price. The property is a 4-2. I have the information for the agent, and I want to make sure that the numbers work for me. So in order to do that, I'm going into the comparables. Regular comparables, I want to make sure that they are all in order and that the information that they provide is going to be actually working for me. So I check them all, click on calculate. It looks like there's the listing prices for the regular rentals in the area. Well, they give me a regular value that is a lot higher than the one that I have for the listing price. So it's not bad. Okay. But if I want to check which one is the one that is giving me the numbers a little bit off, I can uncheck any property that I want, or even I can just check the property per se and see why there is a big difference. Okay. Now I want to go to the comparables, the VNB comparables as well. Okay. Because I want to see, well, right here, for example, this is the NDS. I can see that this is the subject property, 33 West Huron Street. Okay. And I can see where are the other VNBs in the area. Okay. Again, for example, in this case, even though I'm going to check them all, I'm going to uncheck this one that has actually 24 beds and the one that says that has 5. Okay. I click on calculate, and I want to see what would be the additional revenue that I get from the listing price. Okay. In this case, well, it's very interesting because sometimes I can think that the revenue or the business that I'm going to be making, that I can be doing, it's great, but I need to see the numbers, run it through the system, and say, hey, you know what? Let's talk to the homeowner. Let's run the property, and then I need to go through the whole process. Okay, so if I'm going to be making just an additional 10% in revenue, maybe this is not a big deal. Okay, let's try to find some just another property that could be making numbers a little bit
Jose,
more interesting for me. Go ahead, Danny.
I apologize for interrupting you. I have Therese over here asking if you could search in Lincolnwood or Wilmette.
Okay, sure. Let's do that. Okay.
Also, and while you search on that, Peter, I wanted to answer a little of your question. I have over here, I investigated while you guys were on the other side. The city of Chicago passed new rules for home sharing in July of 2016 and of February 2017. Now, Chicago requires that hosts register with the city in order to list and rent their space on sites like Airbnb. And Airbnb partnered with the city to help simplify the process. So Airbnb hosts can apply for a registration number directly from their website or application. If you go on Airbnb Chicago, it will give you all the specifications, Peter, in order of what you have to do, what's a registration. It means that you can have multiple listings, okay? And as of your question, if you have to submit all of them as your primary residence, I don't think so because that would be uh, because you're already registering it as a host. Means that it's gonna be for Airbnb. Okay. But either way, you can. I invite you to check the Airbnb.com/, Chicago website and take a look at that part. Okay. Go ahead, Jose.
Okay, thank you, Danny. So take a look into this, okay? What we're doing right now is instead of going for a zip code, we're going for into a specific area. So here, look into this. It says that regular rentals, there are 20. There are only 2 VMBs in the area, okay? And actually, the additional revenue that you can get if you put the property in Airbnb instead of regular rentals is not that high, okay? It's only for 4%, okay? Occupancy in this area, even though the average daily rate is very nice, okay, it's $198, the average daily rate, okay, the occupancy is only 39%, okay. If we go into the deal finder, well, I'm gonna be able to look for the active rentals, but of course, if you pay attention into this, it says, well, minus 52%. Basically, is that instead of doing more money with the VMB, you're gonna be doing less money if you put the property in Airbnb. So in this case, I would say that it's better to rent the property through a regular rental. Okay, I hope that this is fair enough for you. If you have an a specific zip code or excuse me address or something that you want to check, well, the address is a little bit more difficult to see, but we can run the system and try. Well, in this case, more or less the same thing, okay, but let's put it this way. There are 10 properties listed through Airbnb right now in the area. There are 47 properties listed for rent. And at the same time, I can see that the additional revenue, which is in red, says that, again, the regular rental is going to be a lot better than putting the property through the Airbnb. This when the color is actually in red, it means that the property, the additional revenue is negative. Okay. Here we have it again. If you want to check, let me see.
Wilmette, the specific zip code is 60091. Take a look at it in places. Maybe it's in the top. Let's see. Maybe it surprises us.
66, excuse me, 60091.
91. Uh-huh.
Okay, in places that this is the one that we have right now. Well, the information is still the same one. Okay, so that's, well, exactly what we just presented. Okay, 10 properties listed through Airbnb, 47 as regular rental. Again, the additional revenue, it's 15% when you're listing the property through regular rentals instead of doing it through Airbnb. So guys, let's see. Do you want me to check in another zip code? Okay, let's see if there's any other question. You can I consider the chat is very active today.
Um, it's the zip code
The view
60618.
60618.
Correct.
Here we have it. Just a moment until, okay, now we have it. Perfect. So take a look into this. There are 305 properties listed through Airbnb and almost 1,000 properties listed through regular rentals. Okay. Now, in this case, we have an additional revenue of 44%. Okay. This time, if you put the property through Airbnb, you're going to be making money. And let's check through the deal finder. Let me go here. Instead of, take a look into this, okay? The system you can, someone was asking, if I'm not mistaken, Danny, someone was asking about town places. Well, there are a lot of things that you can do here. You can check by country or region, state, county, city. Okay, right now let's go for 60618. Okay. Dealfinder for rent, okay, specifically. Let me tell you something right now. Bnbvestor is working in developing the deal finder, but also for properties that are for sale. Okay, for those investors that they want to own the property. Okay, they want to buy the property and do the business for them. Okay, right now we do it for those people that, hey, you know what, I'm starting, I want to, or I want to expand a little bit at a faster pace than just having the money and buying the property and the whole thing. Okay, so right now we are in the zip code 60618. Let's check any of the properties here. Let's see. Well, this one looks interesting. This one is, it looks like in a studio or something. One bedroom, one bathroom. Okay. Let's check the website. Okay, here we have it. This is for rent. They're asking $785 for the property. Excuse me, for the place. And let me go back here. So here, what I have here is all of the properties. Well, actually, these are all of the comparables that I can have for this specific place. Okay, through regular comparables. There are a lot of them. Okay, if I want to be picky and I want to select just a few of them based, for example, in distance. Okay, I want to go for the ones that are the closest. Okay, I can select the ones that are here, the first 8, and I click on calculate. Okay, so this would be my regular value. Now, if I want to go for the VNB comparables, okay, here I have them all. As you can see, there are different things about occupancy. For example, the occupancy for this one is a lot higher than most of them. Or, well, actually, this one is 94%. Okay, so I want to know why this property has a better or a higher occupancy than the other ones. Okay, so that's why I can click on the line, and this is going to bring me to the actual site of Airbnb. I'm going to be able to see the listing. This is very interesting because I'm going to be able to compare the whole information and make sure that I have a clear idea of all of that. Okay, it looks like for some reason I couldn't find this one. Let's see what about this one. Okay, okay. So that happens, guys. I'm sorry. The system is playing with me. Okay. Okay, well, but actually what you're going to be able to see is the property through Airbnb, okay? You can see the pictures, you can see how much they are asking for to rent the property through Airbnb and all of that, okay? And that's going to be a great thing for you to compare and decide if you want to have the property like that, okay? And you want uh, to focus on the things that you might need in order to have a higher occupancy. Now I'm selecting all of the properties that are in the area as comparables for my Bnb, and I click on calculate. So this is how I get the additional revenue. Take a look into this. In this case, the money that I can be making with Airbnb is basically $3,500 a month. Okay, and I'm just paying in this case only 785. Okay, so this is what I was that we want. This is an example, a perfect example of what we want to tell you today. Okay, just keep looking, check all of the things. When you look at the numbers and say, hey, you know what? Here there's business here. Okay, then you go into the Airbnb place and site and make sure the one that just Danny posted through the chat. Okay, and you can make sure that there are no problems returning, and you can talk to the homeowner and actually rent the property from them. Remember,
Right.
once you do that, okay, you need to make sure that in the contract, okay, you are going to be able to sublease the property so you can put it on short-term rentals. Okay, now I was talking to
Um,
some. Go ahead.
Jose, I apologize for interrupting. We have another example over here of Peter,
Mm-hmm.
60609. And
33
meanwhile, you're
properties.
revising there. I apologize. Oh my goodness. um, Therese is asking, and I want to answer this out loud. I don't know if you want to do it, Jose, or if I can go ahead.
Okay,
Do
let me
you
see the question.
typically tell the owner you will sublease it with Airbnb? Do you want to
Yes.
answer it, or may I go ahead?
Yeah. Let me tell you this. Okay. Yes, you need to have the permission from the owner because, well, actually, that's important. When you put the property in Airbnb, you need to be the owner of the property, or you need to have a contract that is gonna give you all the powers to put the property there. Okay, and it's only fair to talk to the owner and tell them that what you're gonna be doing. Okay, so this is a critical step. Okay, it's important to have an open conversation, but at the same time, remember this: if, for example, why I keep going into the deal finder, because all of the properties that are listed here, well, the owner took the decision to put the property in the regular rental. Okay, you don't have to convince them to do it otherwise. Okay, they decide to put the property in the regular rentals. Okay, it means that by any reason they didn't want to put it on Airbnb by themselves. But if you go to them and tell them, hey, you know what? I'm gonna be taking the chances. I want to do it. Okay, probably they don't even know how to make a property analysis like the one that we are showing you today. Okay, so it is important for you to tell them that there are several things that you can tell them actually why it is going to be a good idea that they let you make the business, the Airbnb business, the short-term rental business actually. It's we're not going to focus that much on the things that you can say on this webinar, but just to let you know a little bit more about them. Well, it's because, for example, the property is going to be well maintained because, of course, it's going to be your business, so it is going to be important for you to keep the property in perfect conditions. Damage, or they don't have to be worried about the how the property is going to be deteriorating through time. Okay, because it's of course when they rent the property in regular rentals, someone is going to be living there for the whole month, okay, every single day, and they're going to be using a lot of things. But when people goes to short-term rentals, they most of the time they look for sightseeing. They want to go for they want to go to the property just for a short amount of time and do basics. Okay, there are so many things that you can tell them in order for you to get the contract. Okay, that it's something that we are going to be talking about because it's going to take a long time. Okay, but yes, basically at the bottom, yes, it is important for you to tell them directly what you're going to be doing. Okay, was it Peter, the one who was asking for the zip code 60618?
Okay, it was 60609.
I'm so sorry about it. Okay, it's because I'm sorry. I went into, so here we have it, 606.
That one.
That's the right one. Okay, so take a look into this. It's now we can see that there are 33 properties that are currently listed through Airbnb. And if you put the property through Airbnb based on the numbers that we have in the system, you can have an additional revenue of 28%. Okay. Again, it is going to be important for you to run the specific property through the deal finder. Make sure what are the things that can give you a better profit. So let's try to do it. Okay, let's go. Let's search here. Some of the places that we can find in this specific zip code. So based on the numbers that I can see right now, it's that regular rentals are around $1,100, okay, in the area. Okay, and well, $995. This one that is extremely low compared to the others is because probably this is just for a room. Okay, let's keep going. Let's check this one. 2 bathrooms, 1 bath. Okay, here we have it. If we want to check the website, the specific website for this property, we're going to be able to do it. Okay, it says that the property is actually for rent. It's pet friendly. For Airbnb, when the property is pet friendly, it's a plus. Okay, because you can add that to your profile in the Airbnb, and well, it's for sure it's going to bring some public through that. Okay, now let me go back here. You are going to be able to run all all of the comparables. Okay, again, if you want just to select a few of them, here we have them. Like this is the subject property 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are going to be the closest. Okay, so until 6. Oh, okay. Wait a second. Remember, this property is a 2-1. This is the number 4 is a 2-2. So that's why I'm leaving this one out. Okay. Let me check the numbers when I click on calculate. Not bad. Basically, what they're asking for is what I can get from the comparables. Okay. And here you have what the BMV comparables, the numbers that they're giving me. Okay. So here I can see what the revenue is going through and what is the additional, excuse me, the average daily rate for the property. Some of them it's low, like these ones, and of course the highest one is the second one. Let me see if I, by clicking here, I'm going to be able to see the property this time. So here you have it. Okay, I can see, well, in this one the pitch line is Chicago Live for 4 guests, 2 bathrooms, 1 bath. Okay, if I can well, here you have it, 150 per night. Okay, remember, this is whatever they are asking for the property today. Remember that the rate for the property in Airbnb could change from one day to the other, depending on seasonality, depending on what day of the week the property it is, or if there is a special event on the property. Okay, so excuse me, on the city, in this case in Chicago. So there are things that could make this to change. Okay, but right now, even though the average daily rate is exactly the amount that was published in the site, in the Airbnb site. Okay, so the numbers are going to be straightforward. Okay, it's like direct. Okay, here what I'm going to do is select all of the comparables, click on calculate, and this is telling me that basically I'm going to be making 150% more with this property. So let me put it this way. Remember, the way that we're telling you to do the business in this case, okay, or the suggestion that we're doing is that you can rent the property. For example, rent this one. Okay, you can pay to, in this case, Colin, the fee for the regular rental, and then you can the rest of the money is going to be going into your pocket. Of course, if you need to check for sun-in taxes or and all of that, but at the end of the day, you're going to be making profit. You're going to still be making profit, and that's the whole thing. That's what the passive income is all about. What is the sharing economy? It's all about. So remember something, okay? Uh, this group is starting. And what we want to do is this. We want to grow together. Some of you may be starting the business. Some of you may know a little bit more. But what we want to do is we want you to take someone else into the next webinar. We're going to be doing webinars once a month, okay? And we're going to be dealing with things that you want to learn, okay? So if you have suggestions for next webinars, just let us know what the suggestions are, okay? We're going to be focusing on those. Okay, we're going to be talking about how to increase your listings, how to furnish the property, how to decorate it, okay, or even what tips are going to be important for you in order to save money and keep money in your pocket. Okay, and of course, and we're going to be learning more and maybe inviting someone else to let us to talk about zoning and regulations. Okay. So is there any other question? How are we doing?
We have one over here. I think it is, I'm very new to this. How do we find the tool? And what is the cost of the software?
Okay, first, Danny, if you're so kind, please. I would like, Danny is going to be posting in the chat our phone numbers, okay? The one that for Bnbvestor and the way for you to contact us. Okay, you can contact us, reach us through email or just a phone call. Okay, we can schedule. We have a great customer service reps. Okay, they are going to be able to schedule a one-on-one demo session for you, so they can walk you through the whole system. You can make questions, and they're going to be there for you. It's going to be a one-on-one, so it's great. Okay. Um, Phone numbers 888-349-5368. Let me go a little bit slower. 888-349-5368. Danny is posting them. Bnbvestor at gmail.com or info at bnbvestor.com. Okay, those are the emails that you can use with us. Now remember, what I'm going to do right now, it's let me log out. I want okay, let's say that this is the way that the system looks when you're not part of it. Okay, so if you want to sign up, all you need to do is just click here or even click what it says unlock. Okay, automatically, let me see. Here you have what the plans are. We have Danny was saying earlier that we are almost in every country in the world. Wherever Airbnb is, we are going to be there to give you data, to give you information, so you can take decisions with analysis first. Okay, now in this case, you're going to be able to get Bnbvestor for the whole country for $99 a month. Okay, if you want just one state, for example, in this case Illinois, you can do it for $79 a month. That's a great price. But even better if you want to go for the year subscription, well, then you're going to be paying for 10 months and you're going to be having access for the 12 months. Now, it's even more important for me to tell you that even though what we're doing today, we're focusing on just how to create passive income with Airbnb when you do not have a property, there are so many things that the system can do. We have the VNB Academy, we have VNB My Site, which is help through marketing that we are working on that right now. We're going to be helping you to find properties that are for rent with the Deal Finder. We're going to be helping you to find properties when the properties are for sale that you can use in a specific specifically for Airbnb. So this system is designed for someone who is actually focused on creating money with Airbnb. Okay, so when you get the system, you're having a lot of tools at your disposal. So that's why the demos are important for because remember, not only the demos, but you're going to be able to have coachings on the whole thing. Okay, so it's just the first step. Okay, I hope that this answers your
Okay.
questions. Is there any other question?
Yes, we
Remember,
have one
I want to
more
invite you
here.
to next door.
Jose, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. We have Brian asking, was this recorded and will it be available for later viewing? Yes, it will. Please email us at bnbvestor@gmail.com and we will send it to you as per request. And we also have, is this software part of Airbnb? How often is Bnbvestor database updated? And repairs to the BNB is whose responsibility? I think that question goes as per, um, I, Peter, please clear up that question. But tell me if repairs, as in to the listing that you're renting to the owner, is that what you're
Well,
asking about?
and anyways, I think that I can have an answer for that, Danny. Repairs.
Go ahead.
Well, it's going to depend. Okay, remember, um, there are a lot of things that you might be doing to the property in order to have a prime property to your VNB business. Small repairs, they're going to be extremely important for you to, and you're going to take care of them most of the time. Some people want to put the properties into a property management system. That's another option. But in this case, when if you're talking about, for example, let's say, I don't know, some painting or um, things like that, well, that's something that you can take care of. But in the contract that you are going to be making with the homeowner, okay, and then you need to go into a lawyer and the whole thing. We're going to give you tips, okay, through the academy at some point. um, Important repairs, they're going to be on the homeowner, okay. The system is not part of Airbnb, okay, and how often the Bnbvestor database is updated constantly. Okay, this is because, well, you know what, in this case all data is not used, okay. There's no use to all data. So basically and the system's big, okay. When we have information from the whole world, it's something that we need to be working on every single day, okay. But information for Chicago, for every major city in United States is updated constantly. What hours can you call Bnbvestor for support? Well, right now you can call from 9 to 5 to, excuse me, from 9 to 6 Eastern time, okay. um, but no problems. That's if you want to do something. But let's say that you want to schedule a coaching session because you want to take advantage of the system and you want to learn something that you don't know how to do it, okay, or you want to you want someone to guide you to something specific in the system. Well, you know what, just all you need to do is just talk to our customer service reps, okay, and ask them for a specific coaching or demo session at a specific time, let's say after hours or in a weekend, and we're going to be able to do it. Just, you know, we need to do it with time in advance, but we're going to be able to schedule that. Again, from 9 to 6 Eastern time, at least for the moment, okay. We're trying to expand those hours. Okay, guys, we are almost wrapping up for the night. Let me know if you have any other question, almost the last question. Until, remember, I want to invite you to our next webinar. Keep posted. Go into you can check our social media at Bnbvestor in Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. You can also remember to use the meetup group, okay. Airbnb for Investors Chicago, and we're gonna let you know when the next webinar is gonna be. Okay, looks like we have no more questions for tonight. Thank you so much for your attendance. Danny, were you saying something?
No. I was just gonna say bye to everybody who attended the meeting. Thank you for all your questions. I hope we have cleared all of your doubts. And in case you have any more, please do email us. We will be glad to helping you out. Okay.
It's been a
Bye bye
pleasure
to
talking to
everyone.
you. Danny, thank you so much again. Wonderful as always. Guys, remember, if you have any other doubt, let us know using emails, even through social media. We're going to be there for you, okay? Have a great night. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.